If you're coming to Thailand post-pandemic and you're looking for travel inspiration, then this video is for you. You see, my name is Paddy Doyle and I've recently just visited every single province in Thailand, and in doing so, I visited over 100 different temples.
This is literally magical, that's no exaggeration.
And today, I'm going to be telling you what I think are the top 10 best temples in Thailand that you can plan your next trip to this beautiful country around.
Oh, good Lord. This is a jewel in the crown of Thailand.
This is just the first of a 5-video series where I'm going to be taking a look at the best of the entire country of Thailand. The best temples, the best beaches, the best foods, and the best undiscovered provinces. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single video to help you plan your next trip to Thailand. And as an added bonus, and to be as useful to you as possible, in the description I've linked all of the Google Map links to the temples and all of the other information that you'll need if you do want to visit these beautiful parts of the country. So put on your elephant pants and grab a sarong and let's visit the top 10 temples in Thailand right now. So you can't go to Chiang Mai without visiting Doi Suthep. It overlooks the entire city as it sits atop Doi Suthep, the mountain right next to the old city. And not only is driving up there a fun day, there's also waterfalls and other things to see, but Doi Suthep temple itself is absolutely beautiful. The crown jewel is the golden pagoda in the middle of the complex, where Thai people and Buddhist people will walk around with flowers and incense and visit the monks to get blessings. And once you visited the temple, go outside and take a look at the incredible viewpoint overlooking the airport, downtown Chiang Mai, the old city, and the distant mountains. If you're in northern Thailand, you have to go visit Wat Suthep. In the province of Phang Nga, just above Phuket, is this haunted dragon temple. It depicts two things. It depicts Buddhist heaven, and it has a lot of Buddhism and Hinduism imagery atop this kind of like mountain overlooking the temple. And as that is really sweet, it also depicts Buddhist hell, which tries to scare younger generations of Buddhists, telling them like, hey, be a good Buddhist because this is what happens to you if you're not a good Buddhist.
Oh my God, there's so much stuff in here I can't show on YouTube.
There were so many things that I couldn't show in my YouTube video when I visited this place, just because of rules against imagery and gore and things like that. Once you go into the dragon's mouth and you survive the bats.
Was that a bat? Oh, there's bats. Yep, there's bats.
You appear at the entrance of a very dark cave, and if you're brave enough and you have a torch, go in, keep going, and you'll find lots of more thrills. Apparently, there can be monks deep in the cave, sometimes meditating on a mat. When I reached the very end of the temple, apart from really creepy, scary bugs, there was just a terribly scary atmosphere. Thankfully, there wasn't a monk in there meditating quietly because I would have woken him up or scared him with all of my screaming. If you're looking for something different, if you're looking for something memorable, then check out the haunted temple in Phang Nga. It was a wild ride. So Wat Paknam, or the Big Buddha, is the only temple in the top 10 that you'll find in the Bangkok area. Now that's not because there isn't many beautiful temples in Bangkok. There are lots. There's the Grand Palace, there's Wat Arun, and then there's I think it's Wat Po with the big golden Buddha reclined inside one of the temples. And I visited all of them and they were very, very beautiful. But for me, if you were only going to go to one temple, it has to be Wat Paknam, or the Big Buddha. You can drive in, it's completely free entry. There's a museum to the right inside the Chedi, which hosts a very, very delicate, historical and expensive selection of very beautiful Buddhist imagery. Then at the top, they have this beautiful crystal emerald statue depicting the heavens and the roof ceilings. The whole vibe there is spectacular. And then outside is the big golden Buddha itself, overlooking the Thonburi area of Bangkok. And as beautiful as it is to just stand below it and admire the size of this, the best way to see this temple is to go on a hidden Bangkok tours. They do these boat tours around sunset and they go through the canal systems. You see big monitor lizards, you see the local people living their life on the canals of Thonburi. It's very, very unique, very, very interesting. And my favorite part of Bangkok, actually. And then at one point or another, you do come around the corner and the temple is revealed, and it's just stunning. And you can jump off the boat and take a closer look at the temple if you want to. Plus, on that same tour, you get spat out in the Chao Phraya for the final part of the tour, and Wat Arun is presented to you around sunset. So you kind of get 2 for 1. But for me, the Big Buddha in Bangkok is absolutely incredible and a must visit. So if you're in Mukdahan in Isan, you've got to check out this temple because you get 2 for 1. You get the beautiful blue naga, which is the word for the dragon that you see all over Thailand, especially at the entrances of temples. You'll see this dragon imagery. But this one is by far the most beautiful and magnificent in the whole country of Thailand. It stands so high, it looks so menacing. And what's my favorite part is the Thai people will buy these red ribbons and they'll make a wish, they'll tie it on a branch or on a tree nearby. There are thousands of these red ribbons flapping in the wind, and it just gives it that feeling of like fire and lava, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then just above there is another huge Buddha statue, and the Thai people go up and they touch the lucky finger, the finger of the Buddha, and it's absolutely gorgeous, humongous actually, overlooking the Mekong and the Isan provinces. And so not only do you get the beautiful dragon, but you also get the beautiful Buddha. So 2 for 1 at the temple in Mukdahan. Just gonna pop in and say a quick thank you to the sponsor of this video, Cali Case. If you are coming to Thailand this summer, then you are going to want to check out Cali Case. They make phone cases which are waterproof and they can float, and they come in a range of colours and sizes. And you get peace of mind because when you're playing in the sea, it's obviously waterproof, but if you do drop it, it will float, so you can grab and save your precious phone. And of course, since nowadays most phones have amazing cameras, you don't need to spend $300 on one of these. You can just spend $30 on one of these and get the same results. And if you use my code at checkout, you get an additional 20% off. Thank you to Cali Case for sponsoring this video. About 2 provinces south from Mukdahan is Ubon, Ratchathani. It's a big province with a big city, but out in the east, right on the river of the Mekong, on the border of Laos, is the glow-in-the-dark temple. I turned up, and at first you might think, okay, this is a nice looking temple, but the magic, the aura starts at sunset. Once the sun's dipped down, the glow-in-the-dark elements reveal themselves, and if you have a torch, you can use the energy from the light beam to create patterns. You can write your name, and once the sun is completely set and your eyes have adjusted, it really is something to behold. One of the most unique temples in the country, a fantastic place. Bit hard to get to, it's a bit far away, but if you are in Isan, if you're in Ubon, you have to check out the glow-in-the-dark temple. It was fantastic. So this temple is something out of another planet. It really feels like you've been transported to another dimension. This is not actually currently finished. It might be finished in about a year. And so God knows what it's going to be like. But turning up there, it was very cold, as it is on top of this mountain, overlooking the Phetchabun valleys. And at first, I wasn't really expecting much. It just looked like a little spike on top of the mountain. But as we got nearer and I started to see the intricate artwork that was being built there, and I got to see up close the ginormous scale of this spike, this Egyptian looking, I mean, it's just something out of another planet. I've never seen a temple look like this. I've never had a feeling like this in any other part of Thailand. And when I flew the drone and I revealed just how high we were and just how epic the view was, this is going to be not only one of the best temples in Thailand when it's completely finished, but it might be one of the wonders of the world. It really was that unbelievable. And I think when it is finished, you'll be able to go to the top and get that view that we were given by the drone, thankfully. So yeah, if you're in Phetchabun, check out this wonder of the world. About 2.5 hours away from Chiang Mai is the Sky Pagoda Temple, or the Sky Temple as it's also known. This is a must visit if you're in northern Thailand. I've not seen a temple this spectacular. Now there is a small fee for this temple, and that's because when you arrive it's in a national park. Plus you need to get into a truck that will take you up a very steep road to the beginning of the staircase. There's only about 50 or 60 steps, so you do need a level of fitness, but it's not for the faint-hearted. It is quite steep, but if you do make it to the top, not only are you greeted with ringing bells and gongs and this fresh mountain air, but if you get to the top, you'll reveal the incredible views of these white pagodas and gold statues and temples, structures on this limestone cliff, mountain range basically, overlooking the valleys of Lampang. Absolutely stunning, completely jaw-droppingly beautiful, but just make sure you don't go during smoky season, which is from February till April, just because the views won't be as epic. Anytime in the green season or in the cooler months like this, when I was there, you can see why it's in the top 10. This is a real undiscovered temple, and it's in number 3 place because it really is just unbelievable. Not only the temple itself, but its surroundings, okay? So Phayao province in northern Thailand, about 5 hours away from Chiang Mai. There's this beautiful lake and there's temples and other things to do there, but make sure you go on a little wooden canal boat thing. The guy will push you along with a wooden stick. Once you get to the temple itself, it's tiny. It's on this sinking island, and you only spend 10-15 minutes there, if I'm honest. You make a blessing, you take a few pictures and you leave, but just the surroundings of this ancient floating temple, especially at sunset, just hang around the lake, overlook the temple. If you have a drone, get it up, because you'll capture some of the most beautiful scenes, not only in northern Thailand, but the entire Southeast Asia. Phayao Lake and this floating temple together is a magical, magical experience, and that's why it takes number 3 in the best temple spot on this list. And number 2, in the ancient capital Ayutthaya, there are dozens of ancient ruins and fantastic temple structures, and you can spend obviously days and days there. And I'll link in the description also my video where I show you loads of the other temples, but there's one that was just extremely jaw-dropping and mesmerizing. So once you go in this temple, you'll see the usual activity at a famous temple in Thailand, which is a lot of Thai people making lots of different types of blessings and buying fish food to feed the fish outside. I don't know why they do that actually, but you see that a lot in Thailand. There's golden Buddhas in most of the temples in Thailand, right? But this one is the one where as you walk through the door and it's revealed to you, the feeling of magic, the feeling of spirituality is just really there. You know, I don't believe in God or anything like that, but when you're in that room, you feel something, the energy, the tranquility, the holiness of this whole situation, and the way the Thai people are acting. They're extremely quiet and reflective, and they offer gold material. So every temple has its thing, right? But this temple, they offer golden material, and they go and buy it from outside and they sign it and they offer it to this particular image. I'll have to find out for you why that is, because I didn't actually know at the time. But just the golden Buddha contrasted with the red and gold roof, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's huge as well, fantastic atmosphere. 2 hours from Bangkok, and if you're in Ayutthaya, do not miss this one, because yeah, it's my second favorite temple in the whole country. This wins hands down, guys. If you're in Phetchabun, you have to come to see this place. Not only is it absolutely perfect in every single way, the way it's designed, the ergonomics, the paintwork, the gold, just the whole thing is just Taj Mahal level man-made beauty at its best. The most beautiful structure in Thailand by far. But not only do you get that, and not only is it free, there's also so much more about this place. There's interesting imagery about the planets and about the solar system. Opposite the temple is another pagoda that's completely covered in distinctly and painstakingly beautiful mosaic work, which again just blows your mind. You could spend a whole day in both of these temples. They're right next to each other. But you also get an incredible view of the Phetchabun mountains, the valleys below. If you're lucky, you can even see that Egyptian spike temple we saw and talked about earlier in this list, but that is about a 2-hour drive away. But yeah, this 5 Buddha art piece is by far, away and away, the best temple in Thailand. It's in northern Thailand, Phetchabun. Go check it out and let me know if you think it's the most beautiful temple in Thailand as well. Right then, so that concludes the top 10. What do you think? I'm sure I'm going to get a few people in the comments, but you know, this is just my opinion, guys. I've spent the whole year, over a year in Thailand, visiting hundreds of temples, and to me, these are the most special and memorable. There are so many that didn't make this list, but it was really difficult to get it just down to 10. But for me, these are the most beautiful, the most memorable, the most interesting. Next up, we'll be talking about the best beaches, the best islands, the best Thai foods, and the best undiscovered provinces. So plenty more videos and lots more Google Map links for you and your future trip to Thailand. I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Thanks.